Try HelloFresh UK to get 60% off your first box, 25% off for 2 months, and to, of course, help support this channel. Link is down in the description. Thank you for your support. Well, despite a few injuries, slip-ups, and pretty poor performances, remarkably, we start today with first v second. We've got ourselves into a promotion push in League One as well, but this table's a little bit distorted because everyone has played a different number of games. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 26 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. We are back today for a home game against Portsmouth, first v second at the top of the table. Then we go away to Barnsley, and if they're two very tight games, we'll try and throw in Sheffield Wednesday as well. They're the side that currently are out of place, having only played 8 games. This season a bit all over the place because of international breaks and whatever. So if you're looking forward to seeing if we can stay in the mix and finding out how on earth we've been getting on, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. It's been a bit of a weird season and we've actually been quite inconsistent since you were last here. But despite that and a number of injuries and players away on international duty with fatigue, etc., we've still managed to pick up a few points more than we would have expected. The big news though, before we start, finishing off from the last episode, is that Saxon Early rejected his loan move to Grimsby, despite the fact he's then before and after complained about his amount of football. We warned him he wasn't going to get it and we're sending him out on loan. He rejected the move though, and he has featured a little bit here due to the number of players we've had missing, but overall he's not really integrated that much. So that's the big bit of hangover news from the last one. We've also had a couple of bits of real frustration, and we start with the first game after you were last with me, because we went away to Sutton in the EFL Trophy, and we were pretty abysmal to be honest with you. Daniel Rose, the goalkeeper, had a shocker. We lacked any sort of creativity in midfield and up front, and although we were using it to bring a few players up to fitness, we were all over the shop in both ends of the pitch. So not a great start off camera, but we bounced back with 2 big home wins against Welsh opposition. Long trips for both of them, and we started with a win against Wrexham. 2-0 as Aaron Presley got the first half opener. We then actually had to weather a bit of a storm in the second half, and Daniel Rose made some outstanding saves. It was a home game, but we went 3 at the back because of their setup, and we kept them quiet enough. Elkan Baggott got a late second, and we picked up a big win. Another big win came at the hands of Cardiff because it was a very special performance. 2 goals from Sonny Hilton, including an unbelievable free kick, and it was crucial as well because after his second, Callum Robinson did get one back, but it wasn't enough to get them a point. Not a great performance that, to be honest, but the 2 centre-halves dealt with a barrage of balls into the box, and then it was just one player having an absolute worldie of a game. Away at Exeter though, see if you can spot what went wrong. Joe Williams sent off in the second minute. The red card curse returned from FM23. We got played off the park, but we did get a late consolation, and we stayed in the game to keep the goal difference, which is about the only positive I can take. We then bounced back with a stunning 3-0 win at Wigan. All 8 goals after a brilliant goalkeeping performance. In the first half, we were absolutely battered. Daniel Rose made save after save. In the second half, we nicked one with a substitute Dans, and then when they chased the game in stoppage time, you can see we battered them on the counter. Cornick and Matheson both getting their first of the season. Cornick is first for the club. But that game, it was all about Daniel Rose. A great performance in goal. At home to Stevenage, who are in the relegation zone, we were very frustrated. We dominated the game but couldn't find a way through. Sonny Hilton got injured in the first half. We had problems with fatigue as well. A lot of players coming back from international duty and a lot of players away, meaning the likes of Parks played centre half and we were a bit short in midfield. But still, a point on the board. The little unbeaten run started and Aaron Presley got the goal against his former club. And then we finally, for the first time in this save, at the 5th attempt, may I add, won an EFL Trophy game. Harry Cardwell proving he's still got a little bit left in the tank with a wonderful brace, and Jayden Dans getting one as well. But again, we did rely on Daniel Rose a bit in goal. Now we come into this run of pretty horrible fixtures. 1st, 7th, 4th, and to be honest, Pompey and Wednesday, probably the 2 strongest sides in the league. So if we do get a result today, I'll start to feel a bit better about our chances. Let's go and see what we can do. We go through to the tactical meeting. I would expect these 3 games to be defining. Are we going to be in a promotion race or are we going to be in that second bunch, in the upper ends of the mid-table, maybe 10th to 12th rather than maybe 3rd to 6th. Let's go and have a look as Joe Morrell has got to be closed down. They're playing 4-2-3-1. I'm tempted to go for the away tactic again. It's something we've done before. But on this occasion, I think we might stick with the 4-4-2. So let's get it all changed from what it was in midweek. We'll be back in a minute with our strongest team. Well, I've taken perhaps one gamble today, but otherwise it's as close to our first 11 as we can be. We've got Will Ferry back from injury. He's not started in about a month. We've also not really seen the front two play together for some time. And the big news, of course, is Joe Williams is back. Do not let me down again. You have got yourself out of fitness because you've not been able to play. Do not ruin it on this occasion. It's a big one for the club. I brought you in to be trusted, and at the moment, you're being a bit of a letdown in this team. It means our 11 in full is Daniel Rose in goal. Another very solid start to the season for him. The fullbacks are Matheson, who's doing well, and Parks, with Parker and Konza at the centre halves. We've got Hilton on the right, playing for the first time since that Stevenage game, with Ferry back on the left as well. King and Williams, the midfield two, with Presley and Dans up front. And this is about as strong as we can get. So we play the strongest team in the league on paper. We have a great chance to get a result. We can do it and start this episode in the right way. Maybe I'll believe there's a genuine chance at 3 in a row. They've made 5 changes from their midweek game. I'm looking at the players in and they've got some real quality there. So let's get through the dressing room. Prove a point, boys. Most of them motivated except the front two. But what can you deliver on a big occasion like this? We go into the first half. I saw Barnsley behind already there as Dans gets the ball and drifts left with it to Parks. Down the line again to Jaden Dans. I wonder if we're just throwing teams because we're playing the 2 different styles. Oh my word. How has that not gone in? The keeper almost sort of turned his back on it. It hit him on the side, hit the crossbar and went over. A really bizarre attack there. There was a shout for a penalty in it too. But I mean, ultimately, it stays 0-0 somehow. It was a terrific start from Southend United. We are flying through the divisions here. It's almost going a bit too well. And we've started this game well against a very strong team, but will we regret not taking our chances? We saw it in reverse with Wigan against us. They did this in the first half. Didn't take their chances, ended up conceding one and having to chase the game. And then we tore them apart. But what can they do here? They've got a corner kick. The first bit of attacking intent we're seeing from them. Big ball up to the back post. Rose does well. What a goalkeeper that man is. And he removes any danger from the situation. Now we can focus on the other end again. With Ferry and Dans playing a 1-2. Up to Presley, the target man. Crosses blocked and half cleared away. Oh, that's a dodgy switch of play. Matheson's nicked it. Finds Sonny Hilton. Back in the team. Oh, almost back in the goals. Ferry is though. 3rd time lucky. Presley had a swipe in between. But Will Ferry delivers. The 2 wingers we've been missing against Stevenage. And look at them now. One provides all of the motion going forward. Fair play to Matheson as well. He read that really well. And what a finish from Will Ferry. It's 1-0 to Southend. And we've nicked it again with Hilton. We look so good at the moment. What a team we've got here. It's a good League One side from the time we built it. But at the moment, this is starting to look like it might happen as Ferry picks the ball up on the left. Don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. Ferry again by the byline. Big ball up. Keeper comes. Misses it. Must have fouled Presley there. He was pushed from behind. The keeper missed the ball as well. And now Aaron Presley steps up with a chance to make it 2. It's a dream start to the season, but it is not a dream start to the game. What a save, by the way. It was not a poor penalty. It was up right in the top corner. And he's read it right and he's tipped it over the bar. Superb work from Archer. Completely makes amends for that misdealing of the cross. And Sparks can bring it away. Jaden Dans probably sensibly fouls him. And he gets his yellow card. But is that the turning point of this match? 10 to the break. We've dominated it. And it should have been 2-0. But at the moment it stays 1. And now it might get nervy. 3 to the break. We've been brilliant. But is 1 enough of a lead? Let's get through the team talk because nearly 3 expected goals. Even without the pen, they think we deserve 2. So let's see what the second half can bring. Sonny Hilton obviously is not going to do 90. It's his first action since that Stevenage match. We've also now got Dan's on the booking. We've got a few other players just coming back as well. We have got to be careful here, though. Presley's nicked it again. Good tackle, but Dans finds him a second time. Makes amends for the penalty. Arguably, Archer had a better chance of saving that one than the pen. It was almost down the middle, but maybe that's what fooled him. I mean, the pass in midfield was poor from them. But what a performance this has been, honestly. From the first to the 51st minute so far, we've been imperious as Dans gets down the left. Deflected cross to Presley. He holds it up. It's another pen. Now, is he going to take this one? No, he's not. He's given it to Sonny Hilton. Now, that's interesting. I've not set any of that up in the background. That's something that's happened of natural accord. Will we get it the second time? Oh, my words. Oh, my words. Jordan Archer is having an unbelievable game. And that's the reason it's only 2-0. We've had 2 penalties saved. This could have been an absolute bloodbath. Let's just take the fact that we've missed the 2 penalties away. We're playing top of the league who have lost 1 game all year. If we'd scored the penalties here, this would be an absolutely damaging victory. The expected goals is nearly 4.5. I cannot believe what I'm watching. It's the best performance we've probably produced in this save, and it really deserved to be rewarded with 4 goals. But for now, Harry Cornick is going to come on for Hilton. We were going to take Dans off, but Cornick is basically our backup striker as well. So I'm going to leave it at 1. We'll think about the centre midfielders in a bit because neither of them have played a huge amount of minutes this season. But I don't want to change too much because this performance has been genuinely outstanding. 15 to go. It's dominance. It's brilliance. And now with 10 remaining, I think we can make the subs. Both centre midfielders were replaced by Morehouse and by Smith. They've probably played more minutes than the 2 they're replacing. Ferry again, just back from injury. Trevor Clark can get a few minutes in his place. And Tomlinson again has been playing more of the games recently. He'll replace Parks at left back. We've got 10 minutes remaining in this wonderful display. I almost can't believe how good we've been. Look how many corners we've had. Look how much territory we've had. We have put them in all sorts of trouble defensively. And they keep giving the ball away. They're playing out from the back. But we've got 2 up front. 2 aggressive wingers. And 2 aggressive centre midfielders. And they can't handle it. As Cornick's been put in. Back to Presley. We get the 3rd goal we deserve. Cornick's persistence pays off. Aaron Presley gets his 2nd. And if it hadn't been for 2 brilliant penalty saves, this would be a 5-0 victory against top of the league. You might say this is too easy, and I might be inclined to agree with you. But you can't argue with something. And I look at this squad on paper. It's a good League One team in fairness. As Smith puts Presley in, I mean, the offside flag goes up in the end. Archer weren't to know. That's an unbelievable save. Our expected goals is over 5. I'm not sure we've done that since we've been in the EFL. That performance is almost as perfect as you can get. But now can we back it up? We've done it at home to Pompey. We go top of League One. But as you can see, it's still tight at the top. And it's Barnsley away next. A tough game on paper. Will it prove that way? Back in a minute to find out. Well, fitness test time as we return for a trip to Barnsley just 7 days later. We're back down to 2nd because Birmingham have won again. Sheffield Wednesday won one of their games in hand and they're starting to catch up as well. But ultimately, we are starting this season like a house on fire. Pompey have dropped off again by the looks on Tuesday night. In fact, Sheffield Wednesday lost 1 there as well. So this is turning into a very interesting start. And I wonder if those teams having pile-ups after the internationals are potentially going to end up ruining those missed opportunities. I do wonder why we haven't been offered it though, because we had some games with 4 or 5 absent. It just seems that we've never been offered the opportunity though. Don't know if you can see that actually. It's obscured a bit behind my head. Cardiff and Swansea are both in the relegation zone after 11 games. Now, how long have they been in this division? Cardiff only came down last year. And Swansea, what? Can't be more than a year before. No, last year as well. So they both came down from the Championship and are now in the bottom 4. This is a very strange league. Other than that, all the big hitters virtually are up at the top. Barnsley have dropped off a bit, but 1 win today. They're back up to 7th and really pushing away. So let's see how we get on away at Barnsley. They're playing that narrow attacking 3. So we'll be going to our away formation. And channel legend Luca Cannell, how many times have we had him? He's a very good player. He's in this Barnsley side. As is Callum Styles. We had him in the Reading save last year, the Hungary international. He's a very good player. And Flanagan up front, you may remember, is the player that our director of football tried to sign on deadline day, but we rejected. And on that front, very quickly, you remember we talked about this guy, who our new Portuguese director of football has pre-agreed a loan for in January. I accepted it because it wasn't much wage contribution. We got the scout report through. Oh my word, our director of football has found a gem. So if we get a big offer for Jayden Danns, don't be worried about letting him go. 11 in 11 for Portugal's 21s and an unbelievable centre forward. This director of football, he's not John Still, but in his own way he can do it. Let's go and get the away tactic picked. We'll go and change the team as needed. And we'll be back in a minute to run through the 11 that's going to make the trip to Yorkshire. Well then, a few changes made and a few little gambles. One of them being that after Hilton's poor performance and Cornick being brilliant off the bench, we're going to start him on the right hand side. We're also bringing in Baggett into the back three because we've got the extra defender now. And otherwise, I've chosen to stick with a few that may have done with the rest otherwise. So out of the squad entirely go the likes of Trevor Clark. Onto the bench, we've got a few superstars, including Bubba Fernandes. But this is the 11 we've gone for. It is Baggett in and it is Cornick in, with Jayden Danns dropping out. And I can't even remember the other one. Oh, it's Hilton as well. So those are the two out as we change tactic. And that's one of the biggest positives this year. When we change from a home to away tactic, we can do it with just one change rather than 3 or 4, which we needed before. So that leaves us in a strong position as Barnsley have made 3. They've got a very strong midfield. We know that's going to be an issue. Rob Dickie at the back as well. Archie Mair's a good goalkeeper. Barry Cotter on the bench. We've definitely managed him before on this channel. And then Rob Atkinson as well. They've got good players everywhere. So let's go and tell the lads to carry on where they left off. We're getting a lot of them motivated. They're on board with us. Ian Everett's in charge of Barnsley. I did not realise that. Let's go and get into the first half at Oakwell, one of my favourite EFL grounds, and see how we get on in another tough test against one of the big boys in the division. There's a throw on the left for Barnsley, deep in their defensive third. Are they going to make the same mistake of trying to play out from the back? Albeit in this tactic, we do give them a little bit more room defensively. We should be able to power them out wide on the counter. Flanagan noticed doing his own work at the start. O'Keefe back to Luca Cannell. It's over the bar. We've got away with one there. Not sure where our midfield two's gone, but we've got away with it. As we've had lots of the possession without any real chances. And now Cannell's got a free kick too. Chance to shoot is off the post. Rose was beaten. And Parker clears away. Pompey back in the lead. They're starting to find some form. And at the moment, I've got to be honest with you here. It's all Barnsley. This is very similar to the start of the Wigan game. We ended up winning that. Let's hope the result's the same. I guess we can't complain after the last one. We've picked up 1 win in this episode, which I wasn't sure of when we started. So anything from this point is a bonus, as Dickie into Cannell in midfield. Back to Wolfenden. Good football again. They're camped in our half, but it only takes one counter-attack. Can we nick the ball? Not this time. Cannell shows quality. Phillips to Metcalf. Good touch. Ball wide to O'Keefe. They're dragging us all over. O'Keefe into Phillips. It's gone wrong. It's really gone wrong in this game. The extra men in the middle are causing all sorts of chaos. And we've not been able to get our usual threat out wide. This is starting to look a tricky one for us. With 20 gone, it's 1-0. And arguably, it could have been more if they'd been at their best. Let's see if we can pick up a little bit now. We've given them some encouragement. But overall, it looks like a mixed episode. And we're new to League One. We can't expect to win all these games. We were brilliant against Pompey. This one we've struggled. Might just be life this season. As Metcalf gets it up to Phillips. Great effort. Oh, what a save that is. What a save from Rose. Caught off guard by the early shot, but still managed to react. And it's a corner kick with Cannell. Presley heads away. Now can we counter? Williams chases. Doesn't quite make it. This is a problem game so far. Cannell goes back to Styles. Into the centre half. Making his way back, he does okay. Sheffield Wednesday losing. Birmingham drawing. I mean, everyone's inconsistent. And today, looks like it might be our day as well. I'm going to give it till about the hour mark. And then I might actually change style because I'm not sure that this is the right setup for today. If it isn't, then at least we might confuse them. We've not had a shot on target. We've not really progressed. And after the last game, where we created 100 chances, it's a little bit frustrating. Not sure what's going on at the airport. I'm sorry if you can hear that in the background. But Phillips picks the ball up and goes through over the top. Straight through to the goalkeeper Rose, who deals with it well. Into Baggett and wide to Parks. He's got two inside of him. Oh, this is an infuriating performance. How can we go in the space of a week from being the best side you've ever seen in world football to getting completely outclassed by a team in mid-table, albeit one of the strongest on paper? Is it the change of style? Because generally, whenever we've come up against this style this season, I think of the Wrexham game in particular, this tactical change has worked a treat. And Williams releases Cornick. This is what it's here for. Cornick's got two in the middle. Across the box. Presley's there. Goalkeeping mistake, and it's a smash and grab. Oh, we do not deserve that. Not at all. But Cornick, the man into the team, creates a goal. And Aaron Presley, as he always does, applies the finishing touch. He's now knackered though. And with 25 to go, we've not really got the ability to change formation now because we've not got enough strikers. But we can change personnel. Jayden Danns will go through the middle instead of Presley. Ferry will be replaced by Hilton. Cornick will switch sides and he will be I think we're going to go for an inside forward at first and we'll see how that works out because we've had success with it in other saves this year. Matheson at right wing back is struggling, so on comes Joe Tomlinson. And we're also going to go for Josh King off in the middle and a few more legs with Jack Morehouse, who played well last time out. 4 changes made, we've got 20 to go. We have been, without doubt, the second best team here. If we get a point and make it 4 out of 6 in this episode, I will be absolutely thrilled with the efforts. We are coming back into the game statistically. We're not finding that dominant touch yet. Williams again building his fitness up, so Alistair Smith on for him. 10 minutes remaining. It's a very even game now. But Barnsley have dominated the ball. They dominated the first half. But just like the Wigan game, we stayed in it. Now, can we nick a win like we did in that one? As Cornick releases Hilton down the right. Inside of Danns. Oh, my word, we've done it again. 90th minute winner from Jayden Danns. Cornick and Hilton combine. Danns gets in and scores. And now, with what? 5 minutes added on, we are going to get to the time wasting. Wing backs, you go to defensive duties. Wingers, you get to supporting ones. Cornick will just become a winger on support as well. And we're going to go time waste all the time. We're not going to overlap and we're going to slow the pace down. Nothing particularly crazy at the minute, but enough to just keep things secure. We are doing what champions do, which is winning games ugly. We did this at Wigan. We're doing it here. We've had the odd game where we've been beautiful like Pompey. But results like this are arguably more important because when you're playing woefully and you're beating very good League One teams, you're probably going to have a good season. What an episode with 6 points out of 6. What a last minute winner from Jayden Danns off the bench. And what a performance from Harry Cornick, one of the men we brought in. We're back up to second. We're sticking there for the end of the episode. And while Wednesday have got a couple of games in hand, they now can't actually catch us because I think, they lost again at home to Stockport. We're going to have a wobble at some point. We know that too. But this has been a wonderful start. And if we can carry the momentum with us, it'll be a very strong season. But at the very worst, we don't have to worry about relegation now, do we? Let's go and have a look at the schedule for when we're next going to be back. Hopefully, we can keep this form up. I think we've got to show Birmingham, haven't we? They're top of the league at the minute. They're very strong. And we saw what happened today when we did it. You probably wouldn't have believed me if I'd done that off camera. Doncaster away or Rotherham either side. We'll make it Birmingham and Rotherham. The only thing we've got to be aware of is the weekend before is the FA Cup second round. So if we do get past Bristol Rovers, we do get through an EFL trophy as well. The schedule could be a bit affected. But for now, Birmingham at home is the big game. We'll work around it as we need to. If you did enjoy this one, the most beautiful win you'll ever see at home to Pompey and one of the ugliest ones you'll see away to Barnsley, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know what you thought of the performances, the manner of the results as well. I mean, I don't want to be too optimistic too early, but that does look incredibly encouraging, doesn't it? If you want to stay up to date and find out what the rest of the season brings and how we get on at home to top spot next time out as well, then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. I hope you're looking forward to it as much as me. This could be one hell of a meteoric rise. What a season it's been so far. I thought it might fall apart today when we face the big boys, but if anything, we've stood up to the challenge yet further. Might be a little trickier in our other Save the Head Coach. We'll be back with that one tomorrow at the normal time. You can find that one up in the eye above alongside the Twitch channel where we're live the next 2 nights and the football podcast as well for regular EFL predictions. Thank you for your support with all of them and with the partnership from HelloFresh. You can find a link in the description below if you're in the UK. Get 60% off your first box, no subscription. You can cancel whenever you want. Help support the channel too, so thank you with that. And I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time as we face top of the league again. But my word, we can replicate the performances of today. We might be in for one hell of a season. I'll see you there.